Alright everyone, hope you're keeping safe out there. Today, I thought I'd take a look at the Marvel Legends The Fallen Silver Surfer. Okay, so I managed to pick this figure up from... where did I pick it up from? Oh yeah, I picked this figure up from the fine folks over at Comics and Cocktails. Really great store, free delivery in the UK, highly recommended. They're great, they get lots of stuff in. I've got about a dozen pre-orders with them at the moment. I think I owe them about 100 and some odd quid, maybe 200. God, I hope it's not 300. But yeah, anyway, yeah, I bought it from them. Great store. So, anyway, you know my spiel by now. Silver Surfer. Most of you probably know who he is, but for some of you who don't, let me just quickly do a quick run round. Run round? Run down. Ooh, good start. Okay. Back in the beginning, you have Galactus, the Devourer of Worlds. Gigantic cosmic entity in the Marvel Universe. His job basically is to go around and devour planets. It's a great job, isn't it? Yeah, don't know. I won't spoil the backstory too much, but there are reasons for him doing this. It's kind of cool, kind of interesting. But anyway, one day he ended up at the planet of Zenlar, and he was about to eat this highly evolved and enlightened planet, when one of their citizens, Norinrad, made him an offer saying, "Look, spare my planet, and I will be your herald. I will go out and I will find you planets. So you don't have to look for them yourself. You can save yourself the time. You'll never starve again." And Galactus, being as intelligent as he is, went, "Yeah, okay, good idea. I'll do it." So he took Norinrad, and he changed him a little bit. He made him into the Silver Surfer. He coated him in a silver coating, gave him a silver board, and gave him a piece of the power cosmic, which is effectively like unlimited power to do anything you want. So, pretty good deal. And for a very, very long time, the Silver Surfer went around finding planets for Galactus to eat. And as you can imagine in Marvel Comics, at one point, he found Earth. And seeing it was a planet full of life and good eating for Galactus, he called Galactus down to devour it. Unfortunately for him, the Fantastic Four were aware of this and tried hard to stop him. Of course, there's nothing they could really do. But through humanity and compassion and meeting the Fantastic Four and their allies, the Silver Surfer decided, yeah, I can't keep doing this. He got Galactus to stop and asked Galactus to spare the planet, which Galactus did, but he also banished the Silver Surfer from his service, and they separated, leaving the Silver Surfer to go through the cosmos, having adventures, becoming a well-rounded character. And like I said, I like the comic book origin, but my real knowledge of the Silver Surfer, or my first introduction to him, was from the old cartoon series. And that cartoon series was really good. The art style I really liked. It was very Jack Kirby mixed with CGI, cel-shaded colouring. Introduced me a lot to the Marvel cosmology. It was my first introduction to Beta Ray Bill, Thanos, the Watcher. There's a load of other cosmic Marvel stuff. It was really good. If you can find it, I recommend watching it. It's almost like an opera. And I'm not the only one who really likes the Silver Surfer. He was actually one of Stan Lee's favourite characters. And it's one thing you can be sure of, is Stan Lee likes a character, there's got to be something good about them. What else can I say? He was one of Stan's favourites, and it's easy to understand why, because he let Stan do the things he loved doing the most, which was basically just going off like some Shakespearean actor or some Shakespearean writer, filling the pages with prose and inflection, looking at the human condition, and it's really cool. But okay, that's like the Silver Surfer, but that's not actually technically the Silver Surfer we're looking at now. It is the same person, but this one is the Silver Surfer Black, or the Silver Surfer The Fallen. It's weird to distinguish the two. They're both realistically both really the same thing, but I'll go through the Fallen first. Okay, this character comes from Donny Cates' Thanos comic books back in, I think it was a while ago. I think it was 2017, 2018. But basically, at one point, Thanos was transported to the future by a servant of his future self, where at this point in the future, Thanos had won and killed off everything that existed, apart from himself, his herald/servant, and his pet. And what he really wanted past Thanos, or modern-day Thanos, to do is help him take down a threat. That threat being the Fallen, who at this point the Fallen not being a name of a character as it is in modern day Marvel Comics, it was actually a title. In this case, it referred to the Silver Surfer, who had, amassed an army from the Negative Zone and had proved himself worthy to wield Thor's hammer Mjolnir. And he was a threat, he was going to kill Thanos. And it looked really cool. I've got to be honest, this black Silver Surfer carrying Thor's hammer looks really cool. And speaking of really cool, this series was the debut of the Cosmic Ghost Rider, another Donny Cates creation, another figure I've actually got to my collection because Marvel jumped on this fella straight away. So cool, really good. And yeah, the Silver Surfer was really good. Was really cool. Sorry, in his books, kicks a lot of ass, but unfortunately, things didn't quite go to plan, and I won't quite spoil the ending exactly. But let's just say, the Silver Surfer didn't really come out on top. Yeah, but that was okay. That's like the Fallen Silver Surfer. But as you know, I've also referred to this as Silver Surfer Black, because yet again in 2019, early 2020, I think around that time, Donny Cates did another series, Silver Surfer Black, where after a weird cosmic-y, timey-wimey thing, Silver Surfer found himself in the primordial past, facing Null, another Donny Cates creation, the god of symbiotes and the god of darkness. And in that altercation, the Silver Surfer had to keep using his own life force to create light, to create a miniature sun. It was very, I don't know, it was interesting. Basically, his life was disappearing and he was becoming more and more dark in order to fight the darkness. Though in the end he did win, he found himself back in the modern day, but he had been changed. He'd become this dark Silver Surfer, the Silver Surfer Black. And it's actually really cool. This change, as I say, it's still in effect now. And there's been some comic books recently where he's still silver, but I think those are mistakes or just an editorial mismanagement of the timeline. But yeah, as it is now, he looks really cool. Not only that, but according to some of the last pages of The King in Black, Silver Surfer's coming in to fight Null for a rematch, another fight, and I'm personally really looking forward to that. Okay, so that's the background done with. Let's get down to this figure itself. Okay, what can I say about it? It's basically a repaint. I say repaint. It's a recasting. That's probably a good idea. In dark metallic plastic of the previously released Walgreens exclusive Silver Surfer. And I had that Surfer, and I sold that Surfer for a few reasons. I didn't like the silver used on it. I had issues with paint chipping in the joints, and there was one issue which this figure also has, but I'll get to that in a bit. But, I didn't like that one. I did, as I said, I sold it. This one, however, I think does a lot of things better. First of all, as you can see, he's cast in that darker plastic, so there's no paint chipping, everything's cast in the right colour. He comes with some slightly different effects. Rather than the Havoc yellow effects, he comes with the same pinky, purpley Flame Fist effects that you get with the Vibranium Black Panther. And the Human Torch comes with them. I think Sunfire was actually the first one to have them. But they look good on his figure. They represent, they recreate the way his effects look in the comics really well. That's really cool. And of course, I can't go without saying here, of course it goes without saying, it comes with a surfboard. It's really cool. 1 foot peg so you can ride it, and that's kind of the main problem I have with it. Actually, I'll get it out of the way now. It only fits into there's only 1 peg on the board for feet, which is okay if he's stood on the ground. If you're just standing the board on the floor, or on the table and sticking them on top. Because the ankles aren't that strong though, if you've got them on a flight stand, the foot droops and the board droops, and you can never get the 2 feet to sort of lie flat on it properly. It's one thing the old figure did better, like the old one from years and years ago, where it was like a magnetic strip, or strip of metal and the feet had magnetic parts in them. But yeah, I can't complain too much. I mean, he looks really good with it. The fact he comes with accessory holding hands kind of helps, because he can grip onto the board for some cooler poses. That's not too... Yeah, I can live with it. I kind of wish it was different. I wish I had 2 pegs. If I had 2 pegs, it would have been a perfect board and rider setup, or board and surfer setup, but I can't complain too much. Oh yeah, one other accessory he comes with, probably the most important, he comes with Mjolnir. It's the same mould as the one that came with the 80th anniversary Thor figure. It looks really cool in his hands. I really love the sculptors in detail of whosoever holds his hammer, be they worthy, shall possess the power of Thor. That's really cool. It's painted well. One problem I have with, I think this might just be mine, it really doesn't stay in the holding hand very well. It tends to fall out, not all the time, but you put the figure, you'll hold it, you put the figure holding it, you'll turn it a little bit until it falls on the floor. So apart from that though, it's okay. Okay, so that's the figure itself. I'll get on to comparing it to some other figures in my collection. Let's have a think. First up, let's compare him to probably actually the figure I think like the base body might have worked even better than this is the Spider-Man one, the retro one from the 90s inspired wave. Just having that like ball joint, that universal joint in the chest, maybe would have helped the surfing poses better. But as you can see, they're not too bad together. Another figure that actually shares the mold this one does come with is the retro / vintage wave Iceman. Exactly the same body sculpt. I think as you can see, this one does look better in the dark than that. If they'd cast that, if they cast the body in like a pure silver, maybe it would have worked more than the classic one did. But yeah, as you can see, they look good together. Here he is against a larger figure, the 80th anniversary Hulk. They actually look really good together. I've got no complaints. Like with this figure's height, he looks good with everything really. He's the height he should be. So yeah, no complaints there. Oh, actually, I'll tell you what. I'll also compare him with another character from this book, another Helder Galactus, or former Helder Galactus, Cosmic Silver Surfer. Two look really good together. I find it weird, like, we got the Cosmic Silver Surfer, like, start of last year, and this one just now. I thought it would have been the other way around, maybe, but no, I'm glad I got them. This is actually the second copy of the Cosmic Silver Surfer I've bought. Someone wanted my first one, or someone wanted the figure and couldn't get it originally, so I sold them mine, and I've just waited till this one sort of dropped in price a little bit, picked it up. As you can see, they look really good together. Actually, not speaking about figures and characters that come in this storyline, or from this storyline, like, we're getting quite a few of these, I think, possibly in the way. Okay, let's look at like the main three outside of like young Thanos. We have the Cosmic Ghost Rider, who we've got King Thanos and his pet, who spoiler alert, is the Hulk. Because like the upcoming like deluxe Thanos, the classic one, that comes with King Thanos' head, the one with the beard and the crown. Looks really good, but it doesn't really work well on like the young Thanos body to represent King Thanos. But if you happen to have picked up either the Build-A-Figure Thanos or the previous deluxe Thanos release, that's got like the sort of futuristic, technologically designed costume. Stick that head on it, it looks really good. That's actually something I'm actually tempted to see if I can track that figure down just to have that head on that figure. Similarly, the older Hulk, we have the Maestro deluxe figure coming out end of the year or summertime. That's got the right head for the elderly Hulk. The necklace on that figure, I'm guessing, comes off. We might get lucky and the armbands come off as well, and if that was the case, that'd be the perfect Hulk. If not, stick that head on the 80th anniversary Hulk, and it'll probably work just as well. Can't go wrong with that. So yeah, that's just some ideas I had along this review. Back to the figure itself. Okay, what are my final thoughts on the figure? Let's get this sorted. I like the figure. He looks really cool. He looks good stood holding the board. I've got no complaints about that, especially when he comes with like Mjolnir and the effects, and the price has actually been really good. Like, it was like a £20 to buy this, and I can't argue with that. He has the same problem I had with like the original Silver Surfer. You know, the fact the ankles and the ankle joint is slightly too weak to keep the board up to a position where you can have both feet on it. And I do wish the board came with 2 peg holes so you can have both feet attached to it. Not only that, actually, one other thing I kind of wish was it'd come with like a flight stand that we could have the board stood up, because like it's got the peg hole at the back I've been using, but it's not the best, and he topples over very easily. But okay, apart from that, I do genuinely actually really recommend this figure. He's really cool. Anyway, folks, that's it. As always, I hope you like this review. And I want you all to stay safe, stay sane, and keep on rolling. And I'll see you all next time. Ta-da!